Hey guys, my name is Fire and welcome back to another video. Now recently I've been playing some Splatoon 2 and going back to this game has really made me realize that this game does a lot of things better than most shooters out there. So today I just kind of want to split up this video into different categories talking about what I think this game does so much better than most of the other shooters out there in the market. So I want to start off here by talking about the DLC in the game. All the DLC in this game is completely free, like you don't have to pay for anything. There is no microtransactions, no paid DLC, absolutely nothing. Like seriously, there is no other bonuses or no other things that you have to pay for outside of the game. You just buy the game, full price game, and then every single thing added to the game in the future is completely free to everybody. Now there is one expansion that is coming out, I believe sometime this year, for 20 bucks, and it's supposed to be this single player experience. I believe there's going to be like 80 missions for single player players. Now personally I wasn't really that big on single player in this game. I actually do quite enjoy it. It's definitely not a bad single player experience. Kind of reminds me a bit of Mario, but it's definitely not the reason why most people buy the game. But besides that, what I mean is there is no paid DLC for maps, no shitty loot boxes, literally nothing. There is no micro DLC, no DLC, nothing to pay for. Besides that single player DLC that is coming out this year, there is literally nothing. Like I mean no DLC at all. Any maps, any weapons, anything that gets added into the game is completely free. The maps spin around rotation. There's also these Splatfest events that go on every now and again, and they're really cool because you go in, there's usually maybe a new map or something added into the game, and as well you can pick one of the teams and you have to fight for your team to try to get your side to win, and at the end of the weekend your score or the score is all tallied up and you can see which team wins, and hopefully your side wins. At least that's what you're hoping for. Like comparing it to other shooters on the market like Call of Duty, Battlefield, even games like Overwatch that generally do the loot box system a lot more fair, this game just completely strips everything away from it. Now there is like different items that you can get that does affect the gameplay experience. Like different clothing items and stuff that you get is kind of RNG mixed in with that, and it does affect the gameplay, but it's not really a drastic change and it doesn't really affect the gameplay that much to really throw you off. And as well, all that gear is completely in the game. Everything that you buy in the game is with in-game currency. You can't buy other currency. You can't pay for the in-game currency. You can't get any of that shit. You can't pay real money to basically skip ahead and get this shit faster. All this stuff in the game is completely within the game. People who play the game more is going to get the better loot and they're going to get the better shit because they put more time into the game, and it really rewards people that put a lot of time into the game, which is something I fucking love. So many games do not do this. They do not reward players enough for putting a lot of time into their game, and it rewards the players who put more money into their game besides the players that actually put time and effort into playing and spending a lot of time in their game. And that's something that this game does amazingly, and something I fucking love. Now another thing I really like about this game is how unique it is. Like it's so different from so many other shooters out there. Like nowadays, most of the time what we see is sci-fi shooters or realistic military shooters with blood and gore, and it's basically just the same shit over and over again, and it's nothing really unique or different. This game goes way out there. Like it literally jumps over the fucking rainbow, and what I mean by that is this game is colorful as shit. Like there is colors everywhere. It is completely based around color and ink, and it is fucking awesome. Like I'm serious, I love the way it's so unique. The ink, the colors, everything. And I love the way you're a little squid person running around this ink, and it's such a unique gameplay that so many other games don't do. So many shooters are the exact same thing, but Splatoon really went out here and did something so far different than a lot of games. This has been said before, and even with the original Splatoon here, which this game is pretty much the same as the original Splatoon, but Splatoon is such a unique type of game, and it's a very colorful, happy game that I really love. I love colors in games, and that's something really unique. Not to mention the fact that every single game that you load into, you're going to have a different color. Your team is going to have a different color. Your hair is going to be a different color. Your ink that you're spraying is going to be a different color. So the map is going to be constantly changing. Every game feels completely different. Now, granted, whenever you do play these shooters, every game does feel different. It doesn't matter really what shooter you're playing. If you're playing an online shooter, not every single match is going to be exactly the same. But this especially relates to this game because of the color of the ink. The color of the ink really changes up how the map looks, how it feels, and it really brings a different experience and a different feeling to each and every single game, which is something I love so much and something that you don't see in a whole lot of games out there. The last thing I want to mention here is that killing is not a big part of the game. Sure, killing is there, and if you kill people, it's going to splat more ink and definitely going to help out your team, and if there's someone in your way, killing them is definitely going to help, but it's not the main purpose of the game. pretty much every single shooter, like I mean literally every single shooter, has a big purpose on killing people. Sure, some games like Overwatch and definitely other shooters out there definitely may focus more on objective play and want you to not so much focus on killing, and killing is there to help your team, but it's not so much focused around that. But even with games like Overwatch, people still kill whore, people still go for kills, and sure, that can still happen in this game, but it especially focuses on just splatting ink, and even just splatting ink around can be extremely satisfying. Filling up your meter to get your specialist and building up points and racking up points to help your team is satisfying enough as it is. One thing I will say is I actually don't like the way the killing feels in this game. Whenever you get a kill, it doesn't really feel satisfying. That is something that I do want to point out there. Sure, it does kind of feel satisfying, but a lot of the time I'm just finding that I'm getting very frustrated over people killing me, and even when I do kill people, it just doesn't feel how I want it to feel compared to something like Call of Duty or even Battlefield. That does kind of suck, but it's not the main purpose of the game, and I really love the way it's a big emphasis on not killing people. Sure, killing is there, and it's there to help out your team, and if you want to go around and kill whore, you can certainly do that, but it's not the main purpose of the game. And for people who find it hard to get kills, like myself sometimes, this is definitely a better game, especially for younger kids. It's not even called killing in this game, it's called splatting. So it's definitely more suitable for a younger audience, which is really cool. It just opens up the game to pretty much everybody, which is really cool. Anyway guys, that's pretty much all I want to talk about in today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and yeah, I'll hopefully see you guys next one. Peace out.